Hello and welcome to Contested Ground. My name's Will and I'm creating satellite imagery analysis of Russia's war against Ukraine. In this episode we'll be looking at separatist training bases in Luhansk, Donetsk Oblast, created, equipped and funded by the Russian Federation. These militaries later played an important role in Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. For more analysis, check out contestedground.info. And for bonus content to support this project, go to my Patreon page in the link below. Let's now turn to the east. Our case study today looks at the occupied territories of Luhansk and Donetsk Oblast in eastern Ukraine. These events occurred before Russia's full-scale war on 24th of February 2022. This red line depicts the front line or the contact line between the separatist entities, the Luhansk People's Republic and Donetsk People's Republic, and the Ukrainian armed forces. The formation of this line was shaped in 2014 and early 2015 and stayed more or less the same right through to 2022. In order to sustain operations against Ukraine and to maintain the integrity of this contact line, Russia created highly militarized environments within the occupied territories. Large-scale training bases were created, such as these in the so-called Luhansk People's Republic. These bases served as training areas and storage sites for equipment and personnel brought over from Russia. Let's now take a quick look at each of these bases. Here we have a site near Bohoivka in a former quarry. And then 8 kilometers northeast we can find another site near Shimchinivka. Just south of there's a large base near Myrna. And another in close proximity near Kruhlik. Moving now to the administrative border between Donetsk and Luhansk Oblast. This is our final example. This base is near Yesalivka. These are not the only training bases within the Luhansk People's Republic. However, they are the most established and enduring since the Republic's creation in 2014. Within the so-called Donetsk People's Republic, there are also many training bases. And just as the Luhansk region, let's look at the most established ones within the occupied territories of Donetsk. Here we have Sofiivka in July 2022. Vilhivka, and we can actually see some towed artillery in this picture. Chernov, one of the largest bases in occupied Donetsk. East of Ilovaisk at another former quarry. Svobodne, 12 kilometers from the Russian border. And lastly, Markine, near the Sea of Azov. Spread out along the contact line, they allow for the training and the deployment of forces when required. For this video's case study, we'll be looking at Svobodne and how it developed in 2015 through to 2020. This imagery was taken on 4th of May 2018, and here we have the outline of the base at that time. We can take a closer look now at its composition. There are vehicle sheds here and an open air vehicle park here. A 100 meter firing range and a 250 meter firing range. To their right there's a trench line almost a kilometre long, intersected with revetments. There's a vehicle firing lane here, and here. More revetments for vehicles, and a trench system for trench warfare. From the firing point to the furthest edge, it is 4.5 kilometers wide. Looking near the middle, we can see the impacts from live firing. And at the far end, a range target. Altogether, this is an impressive and well-equipped training facility. But when was it created and how did it develop? For that, we must turn to 2015. Bodne is a small agricultural village. There's nothing military about this area at all. What it did have was plenty of open, flat land. In September 2015, this was 6 months after the second Minsk agreement had been signed. Russia was starting to realise that its desired political outcome in Ukraine was not going to happen. In October 2015, the beginnings of the training base were being constructed. We can see the first firing points here, more vehicles and construction here, and below at the upper outline of the vehicle park. Only 3 days later, a lot has been constructed. By March 2016, exercises are well underway. Here we can see extensive vehicle movement and that they have built the 2 small arms ranges. In August 2016, we can see newly built roads to aid the movement of vehicles across the training base. And in October 2016, there is a large-scale live firing exercise underway. Taking a close look, we can see infantry fighting vehicles and tanks in firing positions, all along the full length of the training range. By November, the vehicle parks have been developed further, and arguably the whole site is now fully operational. In September 2017, we get a snapshot of the vehicles present. Here we have 50 vehicles. There are 33 armoured vehicles to the right, in the centre 16 trucks, and then a solitary unidentified vehicle at the top. In September 2020, we can see some protective revetments in the vehicle park, but the remainder of the base is more or less the same. And here we have the last imagery available to us on Google Earth at this time. Just here we have 56 vehicles. The Separatist site will be used to train new recruits, house equipment, and prepare for operations against Ukraine. This training base, like the others, allowed Russia to maintain a proxy force at a high state readiness. Forces could be surged to the contact line to increase the intensity of fighting, whether in Luhansk or in Donetsk. Creating and sustaining these capabilities was an integral part of Russian hybrid warfare strategy in Ukraine. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. For more analysis, go to contestedground.info. For bonus content, go to my Patreon channel. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye now.